Alright, so apparently Bill Maher said the N-word, and he's a straight white male.
We'd love to have you work in the field with us.
He's straight white male.
Work in the field? That's part of that. That's Senator. I'm a house nigga. No,
I can definitely see how, people are offended on that. However, I feel like this is where the whole you can't say something because of the color of your skin thing. This is where it all sprouted from. Was the N-word. And it's to the point where, like, if you're reading a book or something, or I was gonna say aloud, but who really reads books aloud to their kids and shit these days? But it's like in schools or something, you're reading out loud, and like the word comes up, and if I don't know how it is for people of other races, but I know as a white male, I see that word coming up on the page, and it's like it's like a Michael Bay movie in my head all of a sudden, with epic music and sweat beating down my brow, zoomed up close on my eyes, and I'm freaking out, and it counts down, and I end up bitching out, not saying it, because I don't want to get my ass kicked. And I think it's stupid to be able to get your ass kicked for saying a word, regardless of the context. A word. It really comes down to how it's being used. I understand it started being used in modern times because it was kind of a way to take it back. It was such a derogatory term when it was initially used, with the slaves. But and so, once with the civil rights movement and everything, it became kind of a it takes the power away. When a word is intended to derail somebody, then to take that, it's just like the bully, like the bully in elementary school who would call you, for me it was porta potty. I don't know why I just said that on the internet. That's gonna bite me in the ass. But if you take it and you use it as an everyday word, as if you've been saying that word your entire life, which is and it takes the power away from the person who's trying to keep you down using a word. The only person that gives words power is yourself. The only person that makes something offensive is the offended. Take some accountability for your own thoughts. I don't know. I'm not going to say that we know that Bill Maher's not a racist, because I don't know Bill Maher. But I know that whether he's a racist or not, let's say he is a racist. The best way to get rid of racism these days is to ignore it. Now, I'm not saying ignoring, physical violence that occurs, or, I'm not saying, I'm not even saying ignore hate speech. Some racist Klansmen out on the street, but because you're never going to change their view on that. They're obviously a very stupid, gullible person who stubborn. Odds are very stubborn as well. And you're never going to be able, people who are inherently racist like that. It's just like where they go, like that's something that's taught. It's right, like, you know, from a very young age or through a very traumatic experience, they end up with to where a skin color becomes a psychological trigger for them. And like unless you've got all the papers that we're not seeing on MK Ultra, unless you were part of the MK Ultra program in its early days or sometime throughout there, like, you're not going to be able to change their mind on it. You might be able to manipulate their words, you know, and or you know, corner them with like logic, but it becomes the same thing as, you know, with religion for some people, or, you know, certain political views for others. You know, it comes down to cognitive dissonance. Like, you would be better off trying to convince somebody that the sky is polka dot purple. You would have a better chance of convincing somebody who knows that the sky is blue that it's polka dot purple than you would convincing somebody that was raised in a racist environment with racist parents and just consistently nasty image of somebody of a particular race. You're not going to change it. The best thing that we can do is, like, ignore it. I mean, don't acknowledge it. It's not even necessarily ignore it. Like it's because, like, when we focus on things like this, like, it brings out the extremes from both ends of the spectrum, which unfortunately these days isn't, like, you know, it used to be like racists and not racists, but now we get, like, you know, the anti-black people and, like, the black people who are, you know, racist as shit. Oh, fuck, that could be snipped out of context and used against me someday. But the small percentages on both sides of the spectrum of the aisle there come out, and, like, they're the one, like, you know, and that like, they butt heads, they go at it, you know, verbally, physically, whatever, and that spills over, and like psychologically, like, we subconsciously take a side, or we write them both off as just complete morons. Either way, you know, your hope for humanity definitely doesn't get better. But yeah, I guess what that comes down to is words are words. Quit giving the power that the person saying the offensive ones is trying to take from you by using those words to piss you off, to get a rise out of you, to create controversy, to divide and conquer. Quit giving them the power, because that's the only way they can actually have it. So that's about all I have to say about that. I feel like this wasn't even a rant. This was a pontification, a pondering. Go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button below. Don't forget to share with your friends. And as always, I welcome your comments, criticisms, and suggestions, but keep it respectful. Spire that. Wait, where'd it go?